Hi, I'm Andrea, and I'm the owner and director of Waves of Harmony.
And I'm Greg Roberts, and I'm the owner and director of Grief and Trauma Support. This little video is an opportunity to share some information about a collaboration that we're working on, a workshop that's coming up. It's about being with grief. So this is just a chance for us to talk about that, but before we get into it, we might briefly introduce ourselves a little bit for those that haven't met us. So Andrea, did you want to say a bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Andrea, and I've been a music therapist for 18 years. I started working in palliative care, which is where I met Greg, actually, and able to sort of hone my skills in grief and bereavement there. And more recently, working with people who struggle with mental illness and as well as other psychosocial disabilities. And I've always really felt this strong connection to holism and been drawn to that type of practice. So for me, using receptive and active music making sort of methods in different ways allows people to be in a space that's sort of really present in the present tense, but also can bring up past and future things in a really safe and comfortable way. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me. Snapshot.
And for me, I've worked in the grief, loss and trauma area for nearly 25 years. Counsellor therapist with a social work background, and worked across a range of organisations. As Andrea said, we met when working in palliative care a number of years ago. I've worked across a range of other organisations and in private practice, both individually and groups. And likewise, this common theme of a more holistic understanding or holistic approach to the work and to being with people. And that probably leads in nicely to this workshop, because around the idea of being with grief in this workshop, we're understanding that grief affects us in ways that isn't just emotionally and psychologically, but it affects us physically in our bodies. It affects our beliefs, so spiritually, philosophically, our interactions with other people, socially, and the environment. So in this workshop, we're hoping to sort of encompass all of those areas in quite a holistic way through a range of practices. So you might want to share a little bit about how we might go about that individually and groups and activities, all of that.
So between the two of us, with our background and expertise, we have sort of come up with a process through the weekend to guide you through what will be not only a place for you to explore and reflect individually, but also as a group, and in and out of that sort of cognitive space where we're thinking about things and reflecting on things, but into more of a feeling space as well. So we're hoping to just sort of glide between those spaces quite gently through the course of the workshop and guide you through that. So through music, through tap, I've done a little bit of thought field therapy, tapping as well, and Greg's doing Tai Chi,
self-massage.
Yeah, so it's almost as if this workshop is really, it sounds like a personal retreat, but what we're planning is to actually tie it together with some things that you can take back into your work setting professionally, so that you feel like you've actually processed some things yourself, and then we're able to go back and implement them in your practice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really the idea, is to be thinking about when you bring perhaps to this workshop your own experiences. So it's not so much about bringing client experiences. This workshop isn't about tools or techniques as such, but it is about you being able to bring your own experiences of grief and loss, be with those in a bit of a different way, and maybe pick up some ideas about how to be with grief and how that changes your way of being present to the people that you might be supporting. So that's really what we're looking at.
Yeah, and just a little bit about the workshop itself. So it's going to be over a weekend, and it's really, actually, instead of condensing all the information and the experience into one day, we've sort of gently spread it across 2 days, starting late morning on a Saturday, having a break for lunch, and then some more processing, and then an afternoon tea and an optional social dinner on Saturday night, and then Sunday morning back into it, little morning tea, wrapping things up, and away you go. You still have time to get home and ready for your week ahead. So yeah.
And also, if you want to get in touch with us, there are some options around perhaps some shared accommodation if that was something. Also happy to chat about if there are accessibility sort of aspects that you want to talk to us about, or dietary requirements. Feel free to reach out to us. And so really this is about sort of, being with us, an opportunity to be with yourselves and being together as a group, and being with grief through all of that.
We hope to see you there.
Yeah, it'd be great to see you there.